Hajimashou. Kikoimasu ka? Iemasu ka? Okay, very good. Namaste, good morning, ohayo gozaimasu, suprabhat. Welcome everyone again. Kokusai Yoga no Hi, International Day of Yoga, 75 classes program Yoga Mahotsav. This year's Indono Seifuno Ayush Ministry of Ayush no theme of Yoga is Yoga for Humanity. Yoga for Humanity. So we also added this Yoga for Humanity in our theme. And Ima Kyowa day 23. Total 31 days Sanju Ichinichikan no event de Ima Niju Sanichime. 23rd day and class number 53. Already completed 50 classes and now Ima Goju Sanko Mino class o yarimasu. Motomoto Jibun no namae deshita, but as we already shared with you, Sensei no namae toka kawaru bai ga kekko arimasu. So here comes, we have one special Sensei, surprise Sensei for you, because he joined in very later stage. And Dr. Purunendu ji, I would like to introduce Dr. Purunendu ji. Dr. Purunendu ji is a scientist and he is from Bharat, from India, and he is certified yoga teacher from Patanjali Bharat. We didn't know that we will meet Patanjali Bharat, Patanjali Indono most Sensei kokode aokuto omawanaka. So we met. It was very good that we met, and now we will work together starting from this project. So today he will take the yoga, special yoga session. Dr. Purunendu ji will give 2 sessions. Today, kyo mo yarimasu, kyo no asa to yoru no, ashita no yoru. 2 class yarimasu. So today's surprise topic, let's hear from Purunendu ji. And he is also YCB certified yoga teacher by Yoga Certification Board. Level is evaluator, master and evaluator, right? Master and evaluator. So without wasting any more time, let's hear directly from Dr. Purunendu ji, and he will speak in English. Please follow the instructions, and after that, Q&A. Shitsumun toka attara Nihongo demo daijoubu. You can ask in Japanese also, Nihongo demo daijoubu. Jibun ga background de support shiteru node, zehi kono kichou na 1時間を楽しんでください. Thank you very much, and Dr. Purunendu ji, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Please take it away.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Pranam to my all gurus and teachers, and pranam to all of you. So today, today all of us, we are joining here are more or less using machines in everyday lives. So it can be less complicated machines, or it can be more complicated machines. So for example, even if you are using like bus, trains, everywhere, everyday life, you are using bicycle. This is also one instrument. But the thing is that these cases, it can be more complicated, like for example, mobile, or for example, your computer, it is more complicated. And then if you go to airplane, it is slightly more complicated. But all these machines are working so well. So a few days ago, when I went to some Japanese restaurant, I also noticed some machine for rice as well. Like you can get rice out of machine. So amazing. So people are so much dependent on machine, but the most complex machine which is existing on this planet, which is this human instrument, I see that all instruments are running so well, happily. Only this human instrument is so much, I mean, people are so much stressed, so much complexly struggling with their anxiety, with their depression in everyday lives. So we call that human instrument is the most sophisticated and also more superior instrument. But I mean, when the the number of stressed people are raising every day, do you really call it like we are superior human being? So what's wrong? I was very surprised when I was doing machine learning, and I noticed that everything is working so well, only except humans. So there must be some problems. So we must fix that. This suffering is a part of if you go to smaller scale to larger scale, like everywhere, even the most educated people, researcher, and many sector, they are suffering from this stress, anxiety. So it is largely because that all instrument comes with a manual. So manual means that uh, normally when you open a box of instrument, you get the manual first. It means that you read the manual to use this better. And we came just with this instrument without any manual. So we are supposed to learn this manual through our life to use it better, and sooner we learn it, better it is. So um, so what problem I understood is for human is that human didn't read the manual. Most of the human did not read their own manual. That's the main problem. And if we read our human manual, then we can actually use it better. And then that manual I will discuss today, that how we can use it better. And so as we um, just a moment, I just want to change. Okay, so um, the when we are young, like around 3-4 year old, then our parents, they bring the kids bicycle, and then when you get a bit bigger, then they bring a bigger bicycle. When you get 18, then they ask you uh, to learn the driving license of the cars or vehicles. And then but then when are you going to learn this manual of this human instrument itself? When are you going to get license to drive this complex instrument? So most of the people didn't spend time to learn this instrument. So if we want to be superior, actually most of the when a machine is built, the purpose is already defined. So for example, that rice machine, that machine purpose is to give the rice. So for example, if you are driving bicycle, it is not going to fly, it is going to run over the road, isn't it? So the purpose is defined. The trains is made to run uh, uh, on the trucks, not to fly. To fly in train, you have to design it separately, differently. So and when you want, for example, your smartphone, every part of your smartphone, it has a specific way to use it. Now today you are using, now for example, either smartphone or computer, PC, you need to know even the software, the hardware, every single part, if the camera is working, if the audio is working. So every part of your instrument, if those works well, then you perform well. Similarly, in our body, in our mind, if every part of our human system performs well, then we will able to perform better, and we really able to perform superior. Okay, so and in machines there is one more upgradation in today's world. It is nowadays people are talking artificial intelligence or machine learning. So what it does is it has a certain purpose, and it does mistake, but then it slowly learns from the mistake. If you take a robot just to walk on a road, it can go somewhere and then hit to the side. But once it hit, it gets that memory that if you go to the sideway to the truck and you hit there, it has a memory. Next time it hits, it does not hit hard. It hits slightly lighter. And then in this way, slowly over this mistake, they learn, and they learn how to walk through a truck. Okay. And but the problem with human is that we do not learn from our mistake. Most of the human who are suffering do not learn from our mistakes. We repeatedly do this mistake again and again and again. So 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 precisely the human problems and the suffering is not due to understanding these human instrument. So then the next question then immediately comes is that what is this instrument for? What is the purpose? How should we use it? And that's what we will discuss today. So then when you ask this question, what is the purpose and how should we use it, then we first know what it is and how it is made of. So we all say very simple way. I am trying to use very simple languages. So we call it my body or our body. So do you uh, also call my mind? So what you call as my body, it is just largely that you are talking about your physical body. And you all know that we came from our mother, a small baby, and then we became this big. How did we? We ate food, drink water, and then breathe, and then other elements. So the what you call as my body is just heap of food. Is that okay? So heap of food means that what you call food was either fruits or vegetables, or depending on your food habit, it can be fish or meat. It came from, if it is meat or fish, it came from previously either one way or other from the vegetables or the plant, and then that thing came from the soil. So what we call my body, it is one big part of your food is your soil, and that soil. So my body is the water, soil, air, and sunlight, and other things we just consumed. And this we have accumulated, we gathered it. Okay. And so this is not me. So this is my body. Do we call it is me? You call it as, like, for example, my pain. So it means that I accumulated this pain after my birth, isn't it? So this is my body. And then the second part comes my mind. So what is my mind? So mind is just heap of memory largely. I can go in more technical detail, but for simplicity, just call it thoughts. And this memory came from from the experiences, the senses we had after birth. Okay, so when we were baby, we came with only limited experiences just to survive. Limited memory. For example, for a baby, you do not have to teach the baby how to what to ask for the mother's milk, isn't it? So they naturally takes the mother's milk. This is their inbuilt memory inside their genetics, how they look like, their eyes, their mouth, their face, their nose. These are natural genetical memory, okay, that they get from their parents or their grandparents or their previous ancestors. So, however, the large part of the mind we gathered through our experiences. So, for example, when a baby is growing, they tends to even touch the hot plates, hot pans, hot water. So what parents does that, oh, don't touch it, don't touch it. Even if you say that don't touch the water, the child once at least touch that and get the experience that it is hot. And once they touch it and get the experience, they do not repeat, they do not touch it again in that same way, isn't it? So that is the gathered memory. And so what we called thoughts, emotions, the ethics, these things we did not born with. We do not born with ethics. We were, well, I mean, this thing did not come with our birth. So we gathered it. We gathered morality, we gathered ethics, we gathered emotions, and these things. These are gathered memory. So you gather it by what you see, what you taste, what you smell, what you listen, what you sense with the touch. These are the senses you learn with. And also the working organs, your hands, legs, and other working organs. So these are the memories you gathered, which you called my mind. So just to ask that, am I speaking too fast? Okay, so if somebody has trouble with English and want me to speak little more slower, you may request me without any problem. Thanks. So what you call my mind is just accumulation of memory, largely. So my body is the accumulation of food. My mind is the accumulation of memory. So then who am I? So the total I subtracted body, subtracted mind, what you get is the self. Because of that self or that life, even if we eat an apple, you get this flesh. You do not look like an apple. You eat fish, you do not look like a fish. So there is a life process which process what you consume, and it gives you this body. What you call emotions, morality, ethics, these things, you gathered the memory, the senses, through senses and through working organs, and you gather it, that become your memory and that gives you these emotions, thoughts, isn't it? So then over time you accumulate that much, which become burden. And so, and people start thinking that they believe in their thoughts, emotions so much that they think it is them, because that you yourself are very much under layers. So you gather so much layers of your thoughts, emotions, memory, your body, that you yourself were very much hidden inside. So, and that become the problem. So the memory, which is good and which is either body and mind, is actually causing you some trouble over time. And so what people call as stress is just an emotion. As just for curiosity, is anybody has a question? Feel free to ask if you have a question. So what people call as stress is that it is just emotion which is driven by their past memory, their thoughts, their experiences. So actually, stress is not bad. So if you think that stress is bad, stress is not actually very bad thing. If you don't have a stress, you would not have able to survive when you are crossing the road and a car suddenly came. So for example, you are crossing the road and a car suddenly came in front of you. Then what happened? You either go quickly, cross the road very fast by running, or you return back. Okay. And immediately what happened, if you notice, is that your heart rate goes very high. It goes high. Your breathing changes. You become so much alert immediately, and then you become so much responsive to protect yourself. And that time actually what happens, your adrenaline secret go to the blood, your sympathetic nervous system, which controls the stress, that secrets. And what happens is that it push you to either go forward or return back as soon as possible. Same thing happen if you meet a dog which is ferocious, means that which is coming to bite you. What you do? You have two choices, either to run from that dog to protect yourself, or to stay there and fight with that dog and win. These are the two ways you can protect yourself. So that is called fight or flight mode. And that is done by sympathetic nervous system activation and adrenaline hormones, and your stress goes up, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up, and to protect yourself. So stress is not bad. If there is no stress, you would not have able to protect yourself. I want you to understand it very clearly. Okay. On the other hand, when you eat food, it needs to be digested, that food. Yes. So you need to get energy out of the food. So that digestion comes with the activation of parasympathetic nervous system or happy hormones. When you eat food, you become happy, and your dopamine, serotonin, endorphin, oxytocin, these hormones gets uh, released, and your parasympathetic nervous system get activates. You feel relaxed, you digest well. Relaxation is good, and so when you relax, you actually digest your food, you digest your thought. What does it mean? Food just give only the body, physical body, but the thoughts you gathered throughout the day, during the time of sleeping, you process it, and you tends to forget maximum, and when you wake up in the morning, you feel fresh. So because you removed your burden a bit. So and then if you have any wounds or skin cells damaged, that also get cured when you are relaxed. So relaxation is very, very important. Stress is very, very important. So relaxation is good, stress is good. If there is no stress, then for example, you would not have able to wake up from the bed. If there is no relaxation, you would not have able to sleep. If there is no stress, you would not have able to run faster. If there was no relaxation, you would not have able to relax yourself, digest your thoughts. If there was no stress, you would not have able to um, um, uh, able to survive. It is a survival things, but not to use all the time. If there is no relaxation, on the other hand, it is you would not have able to digest your food, recover from your wounds. So both are important. If there is no stress, there could not be any ejaculation. If there was no happiness, you would not have able to make love. So they are complementary. One is the day and another is the night. So they are complementary, both are needed. And uh, the the challenge is that um, here is that uh, you you cannot you want to decide it when you want to be stressed and when you want to be relaxed by choice. So this this stress and relaxation is part of our highly evolved human system. So to clarify, if you want to call it that the stress and relaxation are mostly directed by your nervous system and hormones, this nervous system and hormones are very highly evolved than our ancestors, and that we have not learned well how to manage. For example, our brain became more than double in comparison to chimpanzee. Chimpanzee's brain was 550 grams approximately. On the other hand, our brain became like 1100 to 1400 grams, almost double. But that brain, the huge nervous system, takes so much of energy that it has to reduce some energy from somewhere, and that is from our muscles. Our muscles reduced to half of chimpanzee, more than half. So humans are not made for big muscles in the limbs. Humans are made for the better brain. So if you have if you think that you want to make big muscles, and I don't know if you are, I mean, if it is a sign of better human or better chimpanzee. So well, so so if you want to be a better human, you follow the evolution and learn the evolution and use it, implement it in everyday life. I have never been to any gym, never ever, and probably I will never go to any gym. So just because that human body is not made for gym, so it is not that I do yoga just um, for for my fun. No, no. So there is a clear purpose why I do what I do. So um, if you want to be a better chimpanzee, feel free to have bigger muscles in the hands. But we do need hands and legs. So if you need if you want to be a better human, you also need stronger core. I will come maybe in the next class. Okay. So uh, so in summary, is that the biggest development happened for the human, that is their nervous system, their hormonal system, and that biggest two qualities are backfiring humans for their suffering. Most of the human are not suffering from their problems. They are suffering from their qualities, and they have not learned their qualities. Therefore, they are suffering. So human is these two quality, that nervous system and hormonal system. They are beta version, means that when you upgrade your system, there are some bugs and other things. So these are there, but that is why, that is what the training of nervous system and hormonal system makes one human superior. Okay, so and that is a big part of human, uh, what is missing for their everyday life. So um, and the question is that can we decide to be happy or to be stressed, or does it happen automatically? Actually, this parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system are part of the autonomic nervous system. It means that it works automatically to protect you. And but actually the key part is that we can train it. So the biggest question people suffer is that they cannot decide by choice when they want to be stressed or when they want to be relaxed, when they want to sleep, when they want to wake up, when they want to make love, when they want to make ejaculation. They cannot decide it. So that's the biggest problem. So uh, the um, people are so good in making laws, deciding laws. Oh, it is my country, my law. And people make law for their smaller community, like for their city, for their villages. Even they make laws for their own home, how it should run better. So all they want is that they want to decide the things to happen in the way they want. In the way I want, I organize everything around me. If that does not happen, people get depressed. Is that okay? And what is your decision or your thoughts? That is actually decided by the gathered memory. Is that okay? So for example, if a person never saw a smartphone, and like villagers never saw any smartphone, that does not exist in their brain, and they do not suffer from this problem that they need to get a smartphone. And only if you know there is a better smartphone, then only you go for the, oh, I am depressed, so I want to get a better version of the smartphone. So it is just your memory, that what memory you gather, that gives you the thought, that gives you your decision, that gives you what you think, how you react. And that actually, the problem is here. So how you react, that actually decide your next action. How? Because that experience, for example, that car came in front of you, and maybe one times you make mistakes, and then from there you learn. And next time, if you see that car is coming already like maybe 20-meter distance and it is coming fast, next time you do not try to cross, you just stay there, right? So the previous gathered memory is actually helping you for the next action. So it is a cycle. So you make an action, then you get experience, that gives you memory, that memory is put you back to the next action, and it is a cycle. So this is a cycle of thoughts. And the problem of human is that they are not able to come out of this cycle. This cycle is everywhere. That cycle sometimes is cycle of the family. That cycle sometimes is the bigger cycle. So so it is, so you, for example, you try to solve a problem, sorry, you try to make an action, whatever it is, and then that gives you memory either in family or in working or you something else, and that gives you the experience, and that drive your next action, isn't it? Think of it very carefully. And if you understand this, that will actually solve your problems. So I give you one example, another example. So if you join, for example, in a company, and that company, maybe let's say software company, and you gather some experience there, it can be bad. And then what you do, next time you do not want to join in similar kind of company. And then, I mean, it goes to a cycle. You cannot come out of this cycle. For example, you meet a colleague who didn't behave well for certain things, and then next time, if similar thing happen, you try to come out of it. You do not want to enter or whatever. I mean, you make a decision on the based on your previous memory. You talk to your colleague, your friend, if they make any mistake last time, you remember it, and then next time you talk to them, you use that memory. So and it happens all the time, every day. You do it consciously or unconsciously. So your previous memory is actually triggers you how to speak next time, how to do next time, how to walk while taking your steps in your stair. If you if you fall one day somewhere due to some defect, next time you remember it and you try to use that. So it is for defense, but if you want to use it for your larger experience, it's not going to happen. So what you all need is to clear out this memory, so your past memory. And that is, if you clear out this memory, what you gather, what is not for you. You keep that. There are two choices: either you clear out that memory, or you keep the memory, but you decide you use it only for the protection purpose, not for the other purpose. Is it clear? So there are two choices: either you completely clean out that memory, so you become child, you smile, you laugh, you become curious, you walk, you become curious of everything. You start asking question: what is that, what is this, what is that? So you become curious, and childs are happy. Yes, isn't it? And when human grows, they gather the memory, they keep the memory, they never they never throw this trust bin, and they become unhappy. So, or you keep the memory and you consciously want to decide only to use it for your survival things, not for other things. And that is precisely called mukso, mukti, means liberation. You liberate yourself from your past memory. So, and the highest value of being superior human being is uh, to achieve that mukti, to liberate yourself from your thoughts, from your emotions, from your gathering, whatever you gathered. Then you become curious, happy, healthy child. So, and that comes with a clarity. So many people can use it as ethics. Ethics does not work. Many people use the morality. They gathered list of morality. Just imagine, like, how many list of laws and regulation do you have to remember in order to act accordingly? So ethics, morality, emotions, these are also memory. So you also want to read of those ethics, morality, and other things. The confidence, people say, oh, I need confidence to cross this road, or I need confidence to do this thing, that thing. If you have absolute clarity, you do not need confidence, you do not need ethics, emotions, and uh, your morality, this thing. So what you all need is the clarity. Clarity, Atmagyan, means the clarity about what? Clarity about self. If we know the nature of our body, mind, emotion, thoughts, hormones, nervous system, how do they work, then we can actually decide what we want to do and how we want to do. So these are the two words: consciously, decide. That's all what people are looking for. We want to decide consciously, and that is liberation, to put it in simple way. Okay, so now, so now the challenge is how to achieve this liberation. How do we get out of this memory? How do we liberate ourselves? So the human, I mean, this is, for me, it is a biggest slavery for humankind, is that they are dependent on happiness on somebody else. For example, is that if somebody is giving you a flower, and immediately you become happy, so there is nothing wrong with that happiness due to the flower. But if you become happy, what happens is that your dopamine immediately start releasing due to that flower. So you get the flower, your dopamine releases, your parasympathetic nervous system releases, you become happy. Isn't it? Very simple, isn't it? So if your friend cooks very good food, you become happy. your parasympathetic nervous system get activates, your happy hormones become activates, you become happy. There is nothing wrong with this happiness from the other people. But if it happens only with the external stimulation, so it is the external stimulation, so it comes from external sources, either from someone or from somebody. So either you find your friend or your loving person at the end of the day and you become happy. There is nothing wrong with that happiness, but you the person became the stimulator and it became the external stimulation, and your happiness depend on that person or that food or that flower. So it is external stimulation for happiness. Similarly, for stress, when your friend does something wrong and you become unhappy, or if something does not work according to what you want, according to your past memory, then you become unhappy. If you cannot get that car according to your memory, that Mercedes is the best car, you need to get it. That depend on your memory, and that actually stimulates your stress, that you need to get it, you need to get it, you need to get it. That becomes stress. So the external stimulation of happiness, your stress, that became problem, either somebody or someone, either way it is external stimulation. So what we all want to achieve is that we want to decide within ourselves, without external stimulation, to be happy or to be stressed. Stress is not bad, but we want to decide it. So when it is needed. So what we all need is that to figure out these layers of gathering, either in mind or in body, and consciously decide. So, and many people say, okay, let's do the meditation. Meditation works, it works amazingly, but if you straight do it, if you just close your eyes, and can you tell me how many things you can think? So the human nature is meditative, but if you just want to decide meditation straight away, often it does not work. So if I ask you not to think about some particular food, your thought will always be that food. If I ask you not to think of dog, your mind will be always think of dog. So liberation is very challenging, and if you already have these challenges, then meditation straight away often does not work. So uh, it often happens that people are not even able to sit down properly, not able to uh, uh, able to stay in a place for a long time. So the physical geometry itself is not properly built. So this is a geometrical problem. So we need to fix the geometry first. So this is one of the pillar of meditation, that if you want to have a better meditation, we need to fix the geometry. And we all know, so one of the biggest, another, so we talked about nervous system and hormonal system, and another biggest evolution happened for humankind is that we became our monkey, chimpanzee, and straightway as human, our spine became parallel to the floor, to all the way up to the straight. So that became biggest geometrical evolution for humankind. Human is the only vertebra exist on this planet that is straight. So the spine is a big part of our nervous system. So this back spine. So it is medically proven, when your spine is straight, your things works, your nervous system works the best. So if you have physical challenges, then you must fix it before doing meditation. For that, we have certain practices. Not only that, all the hormonal glands. So either you start from here: pineal, pituitary, thyroid, parathyroid, your pancreas over here, then ovaries and testes. These are all aligned along the spine. If you notice, it's so amazing geometry, so perfect geometry. So the geometry is very much important to decide which hormones to release how. Nowadays, most of the people, will ask, why do I want to decide those all the hormonal glands, pineal, pituitary? So these are the master gland. So if you want to manage your majority part of your hormonal system, if you want to decide, then these are two master gland, and they are actually very center of our brain, the pineal gland. So one drop getting out of it is very challenging. So majority of the people nowadays, they it is very challenging. So there are some specific ways to stimulate it. You cannot stimulate it by rubbing it, unlike other hormonal glands. So uh, so uh, and it is so protective that it is in the center of your brain. So all the hormonal glands, we can manually activate it. I will come in the practical session separately. So, and nervous system training as well. So the geometry of these hormonal glands are very much is an integrated part of our superior evolution. So you must protect it. So, and to get a better geometry, it all starts with breathing. So when we were baby from our mother, the geometry is, they are just lying there, right? So, and to get the standing that all the ways, so slowly they breathe. The first thing they do is the breathing. So breathing starting is a big thing. That is what we call birth. And last breath, we call it death. In between the first breath, actually the first breath happen with inhale, and last breath, which is happen exhale. In between the first inhale and last exhale, in between that, we call it as life. So if you want to decide the life, the breath is an integrated part. So if the breath is gone, we are gone. Okay. So the breathing. So the first thing happen is the crying. So when baby is born, it is the inhale and they cry. Notice it. Remember when you cross the road and suddenly a car came, what you do first thing? Before you run, you actually what you do? You inhale and then run. Before, when you became angry to your friend, before you start arguing, what you do? And then so, and when you have good happy day, what you do? Like relax. And after completing or after achieving very hard work, what you do? The exam is over. Good food. Ah, wonderful food, don't you? So the inhale is the related to stress, and exhale is the related to relaxation. If you don't learn it today, you will learn it on your last breath. So when you will be breathing your last breath, and you will be relaxed completely forever. So it is better that you learn it when you are alive. So every day. So say together with me. So the key of the relaxation, say again, key of the relaxation is in your exhalation. So if you want to extend your relaxation, you extend your exhalation. If you want to extend your relaxation, you extend your exhalation. Okay. So now you know how to be stressed and how to be relaxed. Simply by managing your breath. So breathe and managing the breath. In order to manage the breath, you need to be also the cleaning process. So you need to clean your nose and other things. So the first thing which you should do is that clean yourself internally and externally, everywhere, your nose, your mouth, your internal organs, your external organs, your skins. So cleaning is the first step. Second step is you should protect your geometry. Just imagine, like if you work like with like this kind of things, like bending forward like this, how difficult it is to breathe. So geometry is very much important in the breathing. So without having a good geometry, you cannot breathe. And then that breathing gives you the better meditation. So cleaning, geometry, protect your geometry, then the proper breathing, and that gives you the if you open your chest and sit properly, and then how easy it to breathe. And that time your most of the stress and most of the tension of your body is gone. Your full body is just rest on your proper strong base in the bottom. Yes, and that time meditation happens automatically. So if you can manage your cleaning, your geometry, your breathing properly, meditation is a result. So for example, if you want to get good fruit from a tree, you don't put the fruit directly to the tree, isn't it? Do you put mangoes to the tree? Do you just glue the mangoes? Or you manure the soil, you put the right amount of water, you put the right amount of sunlight, and then it is a result. So human nature is meditative. If you put proper manure, proper uh, proper water, proper sunlight, proper air, then meditation is a result. You don't force for the meditation. So and then the liberation happens. So you liberate yourself from your thoughts, from your emotions, from your uh, thinking, from your happiness, stress, and you decide yourself. The if you look at the universe, so and then you take the help of the universe. So uh, just imagine that if you want to drink a bowl of soup, what you do, you take a bowl, like if you want to drink soup, you either take in a bowl or in a cup. So when the if you want to eat a pizza, you don't put the pizza on the soup bowl. Similarly, you don't put the soup in the pizza bowl. So when the pizza plate is prepared, the purpose is already defined, that it is made for pizza. When its bowl is prepared, the purpose of the bowl is defined, that it is for soup, isn't it? You don't use the fork to drink the soup. You don't use the spoon to eat the pizza. So the purpose of every instrument is defined. So the purpose of the universe is defined, and we are in the universe. So uh, just that pizza on the plate to get the best experience of your life also. That if you want to have a fulfillment, limitless life, you free yourself from this memory, from this mukti, and you do act yourself in the way as universe does, not as you do, because your instrument is already prepared. You cannot change it. So uh, if you want to just put your I don't like my hand in the side way, I want in the front, you cut it and put it in the front, and you see it does not work so well. So you use it as in the way as it is, and then you try to learn how universe works and how you work. What is the purpose of the universe, and what is the purpose of yourself. That is the Atmagyan. So the self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is, so now it is just same. Imagine that pizza on pizza plate. So if you prepare yourself and define yourself in that the purpose, if you find your purpose, and if you find the purpose of the universe, if you put them together in the way nature created, then you learn how things are to be used. Then you learn your purpose, then you see your clear way, and that is the when you are able to liberate from your this cycle. You can actually achieve your limitless life. So life is a possibility, and I wish you all the best. So if you look at the universe, the geometry is so perfect. The universe geometry is so perfect. So the how solar system is behaving, how many solar like system is forming the galaxy cluster, galaxy and many galaxy are called in the galaxy cluster, and um, that became the universe, and most of the part of the universe is empty. Yes, isn't it? So we must try to clear our memory as much as possible so that it will be empty and you can experience better. I wish you all the best for your limitless life, experiencing limitless life in this universe. All the best. If you have any question, I am happy to answer here.
Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Actually, I really want to listen more, but due to time constraints, it's like we need to kind of finish it here. Really, I could connect a lot with what you are saying. I want to talk to you again. I want to talk more because many things are very much connected, like gathered memory and this genetical memory and body and mind and this combination, and that when body and mind is not there, then we are that ourselves, and we need to digest our thoughts. This Akujunkan, I always talk about this Akujunkan, this cycle of life, why we are stressed and this thing. So really very enlightening lecture. Minasan, naka, jibun mo, if you have any uh, your own kanso, and if you want to ask any question, you can ask one or two questions.
Um, Hello, Ashutoshi Dhanashi here. Ohayo gozaimasu. Purunendu-san, thank you very much. It was a wonderful lecture, a wonderful session. I was just wondering whether we have, I mean, I understand that there are different methods and different types of meditations, and every, like, for a particular person, particular meditation would work. But is there a certain method where we can really activate the real thing when you were speaking about pineal gland and pituitary glands, etc.? Thank you.
So are you asking if there is any particular methods to achieve it faster, or to achieve it to work for everyone, or something?
Not even faster, but how do we know that we are on the right track?
So good question. So here we take the guidance of the nature. So that's the whole purpose of learning this manual. So what all we need is that, what is the purpose of the meditation? So first of all, so the purpose of the meditation is that you want to achieve the natural way of human beings, isn't it?
Yes.
So the natural way means that you want to be relaxed, happy, healthy. That is the natural, right? So
yes.
So if we want to achieve that's the purpose. So meditation is not the purpose. So we do the meditation to achieve that, isn't it? So that's one way of achieving. But then if you immediately see that if you cannot breathe well, if your breathing is not clean, then if your geometry, if your spine is not straight, because the pineal gland will work only when you are straight, your head is straight on the spine, and then your body geometry is not perfect, then when your breathing is not working well, then you cannot meditate simply. So, and if a person is already healthy, geometry is perfect, breathing is perfect, then you can straight go to the meditation. And then but these are basic techniques, and it can be slightly modified for different persons. But at the end of the day, my purpose is not meditation. My purpose is to experience a life without a limit. So, and for that, I take all the techniques as a supporting instrument. So, does it? But then then little bit regulation of your method. You can try yourself a little bit regulation and then see if it is working or not. What is working better? Yeah. And the second question, how do you know that you are working to the right direction? So then I take the guidance of nature, how nature is built, how nature is created. So if you still see that your happiness is not achieving, if you see that your thoughts are not digested, it is your trust bin is not emptying after doing meditation, then it's certainly a wrong path, isn't it?
Yes, that's true. I agree.
So the nature is that at the end of the day, you want to be happy baby, that like baby, you want to be curious, seeking person, looking at everywhere. Oh, wondering. Yes, it is so beautiful. So every day become new. Every breath become new. So the curious, new, so that is what we are. People are bored with their everyday life. They wake up in the morning, they do their everyday life, and then come back and sleeping in the bed in the same way. So they take that same train, same bus, same way, come back in the office, same problem, come back to the home, same problem. So this is a cycle, right? So um, so if you are becoming curious every day, if you are trusting the can every day, if it is happening with your method, it must be okay. Otherwise, it must be a wrong method. Does it answer your question?
Yes, Purunendu-san. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think we are already running out of time. Junko-san has questions. We can we take these questions in next class if you are okay? Because Dr. Punenduji will give one practical session. So today is more of lecture and more of theoretical concepts, but how to utilize these concepts in actual daily life. So that will be done as a practical class tomorrow. Asta kyo hanasta monu and
Asutoshi, if you don't mind, I just want to listen the question. If I can answer very quickly, I can answer. Or otherwise, if it is a long answer, I will answer separately with a separate session, or maybe in the practical. Do you mind if I just want to listen their questions?
Sorry,
Yes,
it's
sir.
okay. It's okay because my question is almost the same with the Danashari Sensei. So it's okay now. Thank you very much.
But do you mind just to preach your question so that you don't forget your question and I don't forget your question?
Yes, it's almost the same with the Danashari Sensei's question. So it's okay now. Thank you very much. And because I'm a beginner and I'm a yoga beginner and my spines have not fixed geometrically enough, so it's difficult for me to do to keep right position for meditation. So I just wanted to know if there is any alternative for meditation, so to keep me detached from external stimulus or something. So thank you very much.
We
Thank you
can
very much. It's okay now.
we can fix your spine first.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you very
let's do it.
much.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So let's do it tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have a practical session evening 8 o'clock. Yoru ashita no yoru 8時 Purunendu Sensei no 今日のレクチャーにつながっている practical actual execution があるので、ぜひ参加してみてください。And how to basically implement in this daily life. That is the most important thing. So that will be done tomorrow 8 p.m. That is class number 58. 58番目のクラスにやります。So thank you very much. ここで一旦終わらせたいと思ってます。We want to listen more, but due to time constraint. So see you next class 11 a.m. by Yoko Sensei about mudra in Bharatanatyam. So thank you. ありがとうございます。
Thank you. And if somebody has any question, I am available on the social networks or over the email. So it is fullmoonyogi.com is my website where you can get my contact. I repeat, fullmoonyogi.com. It is my website. And also on Facebook, fullmoon.yogi, and Instagram, fullmoon.yogi, same name. So if you have any question, if you want to discuss, if you have any trouble you want to discuss, please feel free to communicate, and I will answer you separately if it is necessary, or over email or over the messages. I am available, no problem. I am here. So I am here to help you. So whoever has even a single question, even the smallest question you have, you are feel free to ask the question. It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。これで、はい、以上になります。Thank you very much and have a good day. Nice day. はい。Thank you.
Thank you for your attention and your joining. So please stay well, have a nice day, and have fulfilled life. And if you have feedbacks, please feel free to write me. Thank you.
Thank you. ありがとうございます。Thank you.